Hello ladies, finally I'm doing it, my hair dressing video. It's the day before Christmas Eve, slightly insane to do it. I've got my mother and my daughter in the salon. I'm giving them all a Christmas treat. This is John Frieda, where I have my hair color by the delicious Carmel. And I'm gonna go in now and we'll just show you a bit, and then I'll come back later and show you the finished deal. All right, follow me. James always has washed my hair since I've come here. James is my favourite junior in the entire salon history that I've ever had, actually, which is a long one because I've been to a few different ones. And when I have not had my colour done for a while, James gives me this product to take off the colour wow. And you remember what colour wow is? Let me remind you. That's the colour wow. And I have got this right now because I've been so busy and not had time to do my tint. I've been putting this in my hair to cover the grey. So I'm going to reveal to you now how bloody grey it is. Come over here, Anna. Mummy, say hi. There's Mummy, say hi. Hi. Mummy's come up from the country to have a London experience. So she's here and my daughter's downstairs. That's my friend who was in my hair. And then I'm just going to show you how good the colour wow is. Okay. Because I've got a lot in and how much grey I have. So I always take it out before I get my colour done. Yes, and this, by the way, is the woman responsible for my colour. That's Carmel, who is the most consistently satisfying colourist I've ever had. Consistently satisfying, would you describe that correctly? Okay, let's just guess. You can say any comment you like about me right now. How would you describe me as a customer, Carmel?
Oh, you're a fantastic customer.
Very
loyal.
Loyal, cuntish sometimes.
Pardon?
The C word sometimes.
No, you're never that.
No, I'm honest. We actually have a very good relationship.
No, you're honest.
Yeah, we do. It's important, a relationship.
You let me get on with stuff.
I do. And I think that it's about trust. Anyone who has a colourist...
She didn't trust me at the beginning.
I so didn't. Oh my God. So you can see how much grey I've got. Let's really go into the down and dirty of my greyness. Yeah, okay. If I take it all off. Oh.
Amanda is using Color Wow as well.
What?
Amanda is using Color Wow as well.
It is the best product because you can see that grey. Look at that grey. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. And then I'll blow dry it out because you can't really work with it. Can you work with it wet?
You can do. It's just for your hair's too stubborn to work with it wet.
Stubborn, my hair. So I'm taking all that tint that I put in myself out. Oh. Okay. So you can see there the grey, a little bit of grey coming through. I probably am at the front of my hair. How much grey am I? 90.
In that bit there.
In that bit, 90% grey, yes. At the back I'm not.
No, it's not bad.
Not as bad. Still quite early on. Are we done? There. Okay, bit of peace. So, I think what would be good, lots of people ask Carmel what we use, and this is the most asked question, is what colours you tint my hair. And first of all, if I have a tint, I have a tint, otherwise I'll be grey. And I have low lights and highlights.
You have low lights, highlights, balayage bits, lip backs. It depends each time we change it. Sometimes we do low lights, and then sometimes we do highlights, sometimes we mix it up.
Okay, so let's just to go strip it back. And let's strip it back. Some people watching won't understand what balayage is totally.
Yeah.
So we're just going to explain to them, but we can start putting the tint in as we do it. So for me, I need to cover the grey the first thing, so we use a tint.
Yeah.
And we use the tint which is,
Well,
yes, number
on your hairline it's 880
880.
and 011 mixed tone, so it
Okay.
doesn't go too orange.
Yeah, because I can very easily, I think a lot of people have a,
You have to have a lighter colour on your hairline, otherwise it goes too heavy.
yeah, I don't want to be too dark, the line, and because I have a natural bit of red in my hair, as soon as you put something warm in my hair, it takes it like an alcoholic takes a whiskey. It just sucks it up. So at the back, you do it a bit darker, don't you?
Yeah. So
Okay.
It's 770 and
Okay.
then 011
An 011, all right.
Trinny,
And
how often you do this?
well,
every 2 weeks.
I'd say because if I use the Colour Wow is fantastic, and it will, after a week, my grey will begin to show. So I start putting the Colour Wow in. But if I have another week of Colour Wow, it gets so thick with Colour Wow that I kind of feel I need to have my tint done. So the longest I've waited probably is 3 weeks, which seems insane, but I do telly twice a week and I'm quite vain, and I don't want to show the contrast of my really grey hair at the front with the kind of colour we've created. So most people, if they weren't feeling under a pressure, do it about every 6 weeks, would you say?
5
weeks. Do we have Vaseline on the lens, Anna? Are we looking a bit shiny? I don't know if it is looking a bit shiny. I felt it was looking a bit blurred from there. Okay, is that a bit clearer? Yeah. I think I probably would have preferred it when there was a thumbprint there because it would have been softer, so I'll just keep my face up. Okay, so that's what we use. So we tint, and then tell me when I'm going wrong, because I need you to take over, but just to give a direction. So you tint the hair that hasn't been coloured, so it's virgin hair, but this hair has turned grey, and then you've got to deal differently with the hair that's been tinted.
Yeah, so then sometimes on the ones that have gone too light, I put some of your natural colour back through.
And the natural colour you take from the tint?
No,
Okay.
I have to mix a different colour for that.
Okay.
If I put your natural colour on, it's going to go green, and you've had that before.
All right, so if you use the tint colour on hair that's already been coloured, it will go green.
So you need to put a little bit of warmth in that colour.
All right, okay, because we're not dealing with a virgin hair, we're dealing with an already treated hair,
Already bleached hair.
already bleached hair. So we put a bit of warmth in, and then that will be my low light.
Yeah.
And when you're doing my highlight, what do you put in?
Sometimes I put bleach or...
When you say bleach, that scares people when you say bleach, because it
No,
looks like you're putting bleach
it's,
in.
it's a bleach with quite a low peroxide, so it's fine. And then sometimes we do a high lift tinted one as well. I'm going to do a high lift tinted one today.
So explain in English to us, because even for me, this is complicated language. What's a high lift tint?
It's a tint, but it's like so I'll use like a 12-2 on you.
Okay.
So it lifts, but it has to have a sprinkle of bleach in it, so it lifts over your tint.
So
But I don't want it to be too light, that's why I use it.
All right, so 12 is the high end of the blonde
Yeah,
scale,
highest one you
and
can
1 would be black hair.
Yeah, 2.
2 would be black hair, 12 would be getting towards the platinum-y blonde. Okay, that's good to know, because I always wondered, like, when people, I think I've always gone between the 6 and 8 scale
Yeah.
of colour, which is sort of brunette blonde, I think. Yeah, brunette Brondie.
Oh my god, they love this video. They
Oh,
said
good,
it's
I'm
so
glad.
informative,
Because I...
entertaining.
Oh, good, because I've had so many, I've had my hair coloured since I was maybe 25. And because I've had about 4 people who've coloured my hair over the years who I've stuck with quite a long time. And I think you can have a relationship. I mean, let's just talk about general relationships with hairdressers, because the women I make over are... Okay. Hello, thank you so much. It's an encouragement.
Sorry.
And one more.
Yes, please. So I'm having some breakfast as well. This is fulfilling everything now. So you always want to know what I eat for breakfast. I like in the winter porridge, and they make a smacking great porridge here. So this one, I usually have it made with water, and then I add coconut milk. But this man has made it beautifully with some bananas and some nuts and honey, because I've got a terrible sweet tooth. Oh my god.
Trinny, they're asking what salon is this?
This is John Frieda in Alford Street. It's in the West End. And John Frieda started This was his first salon, and I first came here when I was 23, and then I went many other places. So it's been around much longer than that, hasn't it? It's been around since the 70s.
Sorry? This opened in the late 80s.
Not the late 80s. I came here in 86, and it was already open.
What, this salon?
Yeah.
Oh, no, because we had new cabin street.
The street was opened in 76.
Okay, so 76.
This salon opened in the 80s.
I just have to let them talk because this is just delicious. Tell us more about the history of John Frieda whilst I eat my porridge. No, seriously. Like, okay, what are you known for as a salon?
It's quite classic.
Okay.
Very classic.
And do you have interesting clients that my customers would know? They do probably do some quite interesting women, and they wouldn't say because they're very discreet. They talk about me because I'm not important. But they won't talk about their really important people. And I think that there's many colorists who are very good overall, but I think colorists rule is the first thing any colorist would say. But what I was going to say, Carmel, is some people are better at brunettes and some people are better at blondes.
Yeah.
And I do think that there's colorists I've been to when I've been a brunette, and they're really known for doing blondes, and I've never felt comfortable with my hair.
Well, maybe that's when you've gone, like, you know, sometimes you've had disasters where homes have gone wrong.
Yeah.
Specialise in blondes.
So, my advice to ladies who are watching, and if you're not comfortable with your colour, you can ask any questions now, because there's nobody I trust better than Carmel. And you could just ask us any question about changing colour or having a problem with your hairdresser, anything like that. There are women I've worked with who've been to the same hairdresser a long time, and they've got into a routine, so they've kind of got lazy about doing their hair.
You get stuck in a rut.
You get stuck in a rut. And you must even feel that with some clients who just have the same thing all the time, and you
Yeah,
sort of...
so you do try and change things, because you don't want it to be the same constantly. Otherwise it gets boring, and it just looks the same all the time.
So you don't get an elbow if you look at it. No, that's all right, just so we're just not doing an elbow shot. Do you want to come from here, perhaps?
Oh wow.
Yeah, like that. Is that good for you? Anna?
Yeah.
Can you hear? Can people hear? Because this hearing is around the other way.
I think it's fine.
I got the Japanese.
The other thing I do is you asked about the texture of my hair, and this is from a 3-day-old blow dry, but my hair is generally quite frizzy and dry, and the older we get, the more we have to really condition our hair, especially when we're colouring it. So there's a treatment I have done now called Olaplex, which I probably have done every other time I get my hair coloured.
Yeah, so it repairs the bonds in your hair.
So you put it in with the colour.
And then we put it on after as well.
Okay, so it does a sort of hydration from inside, repairs
it
the
repairs
bond,
from inside.
and then it means I am at the hairdresser a little bit longer because it takes 10 minutes when you're by the sink, or 50 minutes when you're by the sink. But I think it's made my hair stronger, so especially if you're a blonde and you keep going to your hairdresser. It's from my mummy. It's from and you keep going to the hairdresser and your hair's starting to break off. I think Olaplex is very good for that as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So people who use for a lot of peroxide.
Do you think there are any rules for color if you have darker skin and are in your 40s?
You definitely, when you're, well, if you just don't want to go too dark. The darker you go, the more it ages you as well.
Even with the darker skin tone.
Yeah.
So
I think you always got to keep it a little bit lighter around your hairline.
yeah, I agree actually.
Because otherwise it gets too heavy.
And the contrast. So when you've got a very plump, wrinkle-free skin, you can kind of try out any colour.
Yeah.
But once you start to get definition in your face, for want of a better word, then the contrast can be quite great. So even if you have, I don't know the lady's talking to you, what's her name, Anna?
Nick?
Nick, can you tell us, do you have afro hair, or are you Do you have straight dark hair? Is your skin caramel or brown or dark brown? Let us know, because these all matter. And it was a little general question, so let us know.
If you've got really dark hair as well, if you try and go lighter, it tends to go quite warm because you're bringing all the warm pigmentation out.
If you take it darker.
If you take it lighter, that's when everyone gets that fear of it being too warm. But if you go too light, it's going to go too like orangey, like burnt-y.
And Michelle says that she has red hair and she has dyed her hair this color, but it fades away so quickly. Any tips on keeping it?
Quite open.
So why did you say it a bit louder? Because there's the mic and we're very bad on sound. Sorry, Carmel. So you're saying the pigment is open?
Yeah, like your border. Hard. Just not wash it as much.
Not wash it as much.
That's the only way you can sort of keep the colour.
Is there any good shampoo that you think you love that keeps
Don't use blonde shampoos because they strip the colour out.
Okay. Are there? What about brunette shampoo? Would that help?
They do help it. It just has to be well conditioned, and you just need to look after it. Because the worse conditioned your hair is, the more porous it is, and that's when you start fading.
Okay, I get that. So give hydration so it won't just fade. Yes, I hope that helps.
You know, like the ends of your hair fade quite a lot.
Yeah, they do. So,
That's because
it's so dry and it's so open, the cuticle, that it would just kind of
it slips out.
all the colour comes out.
Any tips on chemically straightening curly hair?
Well, if you mean like the Brazilian, which is a treatment which you kind of put in your hair, you put straighteners in it over the product, and then you keep it in there. If you have just frizzy hair, there's people who do it, and some people do it well, and other people it makes their hair too flat.
Yeah, and you can't get no body on it.
And when you try and use any kind of product or a curling brush, you just cannot get the body in it. So I'd be wary of them. But if you have afro hair and you want to get it chemically straightened, I know lots of black friends of mine who do that, and they're very happy. They get it relaxed and they're very happy with it. So if you're more specific, we can help you more, but that's our general thought.
Okay. Do you have any keratin treatment for frizz?
Any keratin treatments for frizz? Okay, Carmen, what keratin treatments for frizz would we suggest?
Keratin treatment?
Yeah.
I don't really know anything about the keratin treatment. I don't do it. Okay.
James, what's the keratin treatment you put on me?
The keratin one, we have a Wella service, which is like really conditioning for the hair.
Do you mean keratin straightening treatment?
No, this is just a keratin moisturising treatment. It's just treatment.
The gold pot.
Okay.
That's SP oil, that's just super conditioning. So that's like...
Which do you think is the best keratin treatment that there is, that you've used? Because you wash so many people's hair, James, and you see it and you feel the texture.
I would say probably the SP one is so good. It's so, you know, it's keratin treatment, so it just preserves and it keeps your hair straight if you have had the treatment.
Okay.
Obviously it helps keep your hair straighter as well, but they always work better if you've actually had the treatment.
And where can people get SP?
You can get it online, you can get it in...
Yeah, yeah. But you could just, for people, there's lots of people who watch this not living in England.
Okay,
So
no,
SP is a brand that's a part of, which it's part of Wella.
It's Wella, which
Okay.
is also Sebastian as well.
Yeah.
You
Alright.
can just get it online.
Okay, great.
That's probably the easiest bit. They sell it on Amazon, places like that, so it's pretty good.
James, thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
James is very good on this because there's many hairdressers who can give you advice, but there's nothing better, I think, than a junior who's soon going to qualify, who's been around a bit, and he's always feeling the quality of people's hair and seeing how dry it is. So I trust James on that. I trust Carmen, but
By the way, they love your color.
I know. Isn't her colour fab? Okay, Carmen, will you talk us through your colour because it's so cool.
My colour. So it's bleach highlights at the front, all back to back, and then the ends are all balayage with loads of bleach. There's a lot of bleach in
Lot
there,
of
and the
bleach.
rest of it's natural.
So Carmen, being the lady she is, has done many different things with her hair. So I think you've gone through phases where it's broken off.
Yeah.
And so she's had to. Did you use Fast shampoo?
Fast shampoo.
Okay, can we talk about this? This is a great little tip, and I haven't used it, but Carmel told me about it, and I thought I want to use it. My hair on one hand grows too quickly because the grey comes out, but it doesn't grow fast enough as well. And there is a shampoo I've never heard of that Carmel told me about called Fast. And everyone's used it. And originally, Carmel, did you hear about it from a friend of you, from a patient, a client who had had cancer?
Yeah, it was one of the juniors actually. She wanted her hair to grow a lot quicker, and she started using it, and she saw like a massive result. And then when we started recommending it to clients, like, they seen big results of it as well.
So it's something that also people were recommended when they'd had chemo. But that's kind of interesting. I'd never heard of this shampoo, so I might try it as well and see what it's like, ladies. But Fast. I know you got it online, don't you, on Amazon? Okay. All right. Good. Good. Anything else you want to ask Carmel? Otherwise,
Any mask?
any masks?
The SP mask.
Okay. My 3 top masks. SP I take on holiday. Phytoma, which is a French brand, which I did in my French pharmacy video, has an intensive keratin mask, which is brilliant. I would also do Kerastase Elixir.
That's really good.
I think it's an amazing mask for hydration, and it comes in a gold pot by Kerastase. It's quite expensive, it's 20-something pounds, and it's from their Elixir range. And my hair is like butter after. It's amazing. It would take brittle broken hair and just make it, it's probably covering it in silicone. I don't know what it's doing, but the feeling is magical. And a high street brand that does that. Think of an inexpensive brand if you've got a budget. Aussie 3-Minute Miracle. Actually, I've used it for 20 years in boots. Comes in a sachet, and it's brilliant. Yeah. Okay, so what I think we'll do, ladies, if you've seen, should we wait till we get to a bit of highlight? So we're going to do the tint.
I'm highlighting now.
Okay, she's highlighting now, so you can see
It's
how.
bats.
What?
So it's freehand. It's bats.
Balayage or not? It's bats.
Bats. Yeah.
I've never heard this term before. You're making me feel so ignorant. What the fuck is bat?
No, it's my
Oh,
bat.
bats!
So I called it
I
bats.
thought you were. I think you were batting. You're sounding like Anna when we talk about weird things. Okay.
So I literally only take it on them dark bits because where you have your hair tinted so much, it obviously overlaps and it ends up getting a bit too dark. So this is just adding a bit of, it's not making it too light, it's just adding a little bit of shadow.
So I think people who are very particular always put it inside foils. It's a little bit too old-fashioned, that, isn't
It's
it?
not just, this is a bit more freehand. I can put,
You can
place
see.
it where I want to place it basically.
And then I think you can see
not
where
so
it's going to be.
structured.
Yeah. I think hair shouldn't be so structured in this day and age.
No, it should be more freehand.
Yeah.
You don't have to do the placement how you want to do it.
The rules don't apply.
No.
Yeah. Okay, ladies, final question before we go off, and then I'll show you the finish.
Defining conditioner for naturally curly hair, very dry hair.
Very dry, naturally curly hair. A defining conditioner.
Yeah.
Meaning a separating conditioner.
Well, a lot of people who have curly hair tend to leave a little bit of conditioner in their
In the hair,
They don't
yeah.
rinse it fully out.
Yeah, I would say that. There are, if you've got very, very wavy hair, and it's nearly afro in texture, quite a few friends of mine do use an afro-based conditioner because they're much heavier. And there's 2 in Boots which I know are good, and Caroline Hirons told me about, and one of them is in a round orange tub. That's not going to help you very much, but it's a round orange tub afro hair conditioning mask. The name escapes me, I'm sorry.
Any heavy conditioner is great for that afro hair anyway.
Yeah, it is. But she's saying very curly wavy hair, and I don't know if it's afro. It could just be that she just wants some separation, but I would consider that.
Definitely leave the conditioner in, a little bit of the conditioner in.
Yeah, there's no, that's another trick, is everyone thinks they have to wash out their conditioner entirely, and you don't have to.
You would only have to do that if you're having like a big blow dry. I leave a little bit of conditioner in my hair.
Okay. Thank you.
And I have a question.
Yes.
I think maybe some ladies wonder about this. When you do like coloring at home, where
Yeah.
you start from? Like the back or the...
Yes, let's talk about Carmel. There are lots of women who watch this who can't go to a hairdresser. So I'd love some really good tips for them to help them when they're like. First of all, let's do a quick one on this. How you choose? Should you choose permanent or semi-permanent, and what are the pros and cons? And
What semi-permanent fades, so it fades out your hair. So with a permanent colour, it grows out, so you get more of a defined line. Semi-permanent just fades, so it doesn't last as long.
okay, where to start from?
Where to start? Maybe the front, because you've got less patience, so like you can do the front more perfect because
Your patience levels go
Yeah.
as the longer you're doing it. That's true. And then what about overlap? Because when you're doing a
try
tint at
not to
home,
overlap.
that's a key.
If you're worried you're going to overlap it, do your root, and then the next section put a little bit of conditioner on. So then
That's
it
a
doesn't.
very good trick. So let's just quickly understand that. So let's say I had this much
So you've
regrowth.
tinted your root like there,
Yeah.
and then this section, just get some conditioner and even comb it on, and then the tint's not going to overlap, and and you're protecting your hair at the same time.
Fantastic. Oh, this is a great tip. Really good tip. Okay, what about any other tips when choosing home colour?
I think a lot of people tend to go for too dark of a colour.
Okay.
Maybe try and go for a shade lighter. It's a bit different. It's all by name with home hair colours. I only go by numbers.
So okay, so that's harder.
Yeah.
And then the other thing which I think will help is how many times, well not how many times, but when you've had somebody sitting in your chair who you're rescuing from a home tint,
Yeah.
what are the biggest mistakes they're coming to the hairdresser
They've
to?
overlapped it.
They've overlapped it. All right.
It's always overlapping.
Okay.
Or if it's a blonde, it's normally gone too orangey,
Yeah.
and it's got that sort of either rusty or yellowy colour to it.
So if they've done that at home, but they still can't afford to come to a hairdresser to get it resolved, is there anything they could do? It's hard. They need to kind of come and get it sorted.
Yeah, or even like I know like if a lot of my clients can't afford to come all the time, like
Yeah.
every 5 weeks.
Yeah.
I give them the formula so they can go to Sally's and buy it themselves.
Okay, so Sally's that
Don't
Carmel's
be scared.
referring
Don't be
to
scared to ask your colourist
for the formula, and then Sally's is a wholesaler's hair. It's still in the West End off Shaftesbury Avenue. So they must have an online shop, Sally's, but they will have all the professional hair care colours. They'll have Wella, they'll have Schwarzkopf, they'll have what's the other big make colour? L'Oreal. And I think that's a good point, not to put a hairdresser out of a job because we all need to sit in a hairdresser chair at some stage. But yes, I think not to be scared to ask your hairdresser for it in case you're going away or you won't be able to get there or you're just feeling really broke and you can't afford to come and sit in front of the chair. Okay, Carmel, thank you. We'll see you again at the end. And ladies, I'll show you the end result. After this, we'll go to the sink when it's had 40 minutes and she'll do little bits on my hairline, little balayage on my hairline. So the difference between batting and balayage is balayage, you paint it on for shorter times and you just let it sit wherever. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, you can say temporary goodbye.
Oh, bye.
See you later, ladies. Hope it's helpful. And if you've got any more questions, put them down now, and then we can ask them at the end. I mean, we can answer them at the end for you when we come back on in about an hour.